Stampers, this is Karen Phillip. Today I'm going to show you how to make this really cute card. I did copy it from another demonstrator. I don't recall the person's name at this time, but I'll try to find that information. And this is a sidestep card, but it was just too cute not to make, or to not make. So it stands up like this, and that's what it looks like, and it opens up, but it folds flat to make it, so it just stands up. So let's get started. So first of all, I wanted to show you the stamp sets that I used. It's the Hey Chick. This used to be a celebration item from 2017, but it's now available until the end of June 2021. And these dies go with it. They're called Chick dies. And it's got a lot of really cute pieces that go inside of it. The little corn pieces and all of that. And then the other stamp set that I used is the Hey Birthday Chick with the coordinating dies. This is a bundle, and it's Birthday Chick dies. It's a bundle, or else you can buy them separately. And this is in the 21-22 annual catalog. So the urgency would be for the Hey Chick set if you'd like to make this card. Okay, so to do the step part of it, you will need a piece of 5.5 by 8.5 inch cardstock. I'm using my paper cutter to do this technique. You can draw it out on paper and just take a piece of paper and draw it all out, and then do your cutting and scoring. It might be easier for some of you. So I have put some washi tape. It's just it's like yardstick washi tape or something, and I put that on the top so that I could see my measurements easier. I also put a piece of white washi tape inside this outer edge, or you could just use a piece of white just a piece of white paper. And what that does is, I don't know if you can see it. So now all of my numbers show. If that wasn't there, it would be clear going down, and it's just more difficult to see. And we need those numbers. So the first thing we're doing is at the 2.5 inch mark on the left, the top left, we are going to measure down to 2 1/8. Alright, so here's 2 1/8 over here, and I'm going down 5.5 inches, or 7 5/8. 7.5 and 1 more eighth. And so now we have a slit like this. Now we're going to flip it over and put it back into the machine, so the side that has the 2 1/8 inch mark, this is 2.5 up here, this is 3 inches down here. So the 2 1/8 inch mark, we're going to put it at 2 1/8, and we're going to score. We can use the bone folder, that might work a little easier so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm scoring from the top down to my line. That's 2 1/8. The next score mark is 4 1/4. It's already scored because I folded these up already, so you don't have to worry about that one, and that one's the only one that goes all the way across. Then we go to 5.5, score up to that line. 6 3/4. I have to pull this out. 6 3/4. And 7 5/8, which should be equal to your bottom line right here. So 7 5/8. For people who don't understand eighths so much or don't use them, it's 7. I go to the 7.5 inch line, and then I bring it over on this that's in 16. So you go over 2 more notches. So it's 7 5/8. and that will line up with your mark that you cut it at. And that's all it takes for it. That's the most difficult part for people to understand is this part of it. So you have all your score marks. The biggest thing to remember is the wide side has that you start at the wide side like that, and you end up at the small side. And the side that has the score marks is your shorter side, or the 2.5 inch side. So now I'm going to fold it, and I'm folding its valley mountain folds. So on the right side here, we're going down on the 7/8 inch line, fold up on the 6 3/4. This you can hold up. That'll make it easier to fold. Down, and then back on the next line, and then up, and then back. And that's it. And it just feels odd when you're folding it because it's kind of like unnatural feel. And then you just burnish those down, and now you have your mechanism for the card. Now to decorate it, we will put a piece of the Tasteful Textures, I think it's Tasteful Textures. I'll have all the instructions and the colors and everything on the website. So we're just going to glue this on the left side, and you'll know that you did it correctly. Now if you feel that it's incorrect, you can always, like when you're folding, if you need to turn it one way or the other, now would be the time to do it before you glue this piece on. I've also made I cut out some corn stalks, which are really adorable. I've already glued them, so I can just set them on my card. I'd save some time here. So that gets done in the front. I'm going to bring over my glue pieces here. Then I'm putting the fence on, and this is just one of the pieces of fence. I'm putting it all the way to the left, and then this blank space will be covered up by the chick that goes right here. I have the Happy Birthday. It's part of the die set in the birthday chicks, and I just put it on a piece of white, like so. Let's see, we have to put the corn on, and to make the corn, you take a piece of, this is out of Pear Pizzazz, and then I used, I believe, crushed curry, and I'm going to use my pickup tool, the end of it, with the sticky on. In case you've never used this is what this is for. You don't want to turn it too hard because then it'll just kind of ooze out and you'll waste the sticky stuff. So you just need to make it so that you can't turn it but not tight. And then I'm picking up the corn and just sticking it to this part. Again, I've already put adhesive on part of it. And then I can use my pickup tool again. Well, I guess I don't need to right now. And then just stick these corn pieces all up the stalk. It just kind of finishes it off. I think it's just adorable. And I'm not using all of them. I'm just using a few. Okay. We will be putting a sentiment down here, and it says, "You're still a spring chicken." So we'll put that on right away. And I'm just stamping it in black ink. And we're putting that on this bottom panel right here. Okay. Ooh, almost dropped it. Next we have, I put a little dirt on this panel and then the final panel, and those are just little squares of crumb cake, and I pulled forward to tear so that it looks more like dirt. And I have 2 of those. They don't have to be the exact size. I took some crumb cake marker and I just put a bunch of dots to make it look like chicken feed. Nothing fancy. Like that. And you want to make sure you use the skinny end because you'll ruin the opposite end if you do it with the brush end. Alright, we'll put that one on. And that goes on the, when you fold it, it'll be on the first panel that shows. And then the second one we will put on the third panel, or the bigger panel in the back here. Then they have these cute bags of feed, I guess it's supposed to be. And I already did this, but I'll show you how I did it. You can see that this one looks a little cuter. So all I did was take the white marker and just sort of brush over. Doesn't have to be in the lines. You just sort of brush over that area there's a little stitched area. And then I just took a black pen and made 3 X's, like so. And that's all I had to do for those. Then I put one of them on the bottom here, on the bottom dirt. And then these I'm putting on after I put the next chicken on. The next piece I can attach is the cornstalk that goes in the back. You only want to put glue halfway up because, okay. And then this goes here. So you only want to put glue halfway up. You can put it under the dirt or over the dirt. It kind of doesn't matter. So this part doesn't have adhesive on. Next we will color the chickens, and I'm not going to color all of them for you because I did one already. So this is sort of the look that I'm going to be going for. Alright, it can focus, there we go. And just to show you how I did the shading, and again it doesn't have to be exact. This guy I'm going to put on. You don't want to glue all the way up because he sticks up. So a good guide is if you're holding this flat, then you slide it in there and you know there's no adhesive on the back, then you're good to go. And so this is what it looks on the inside with him. This big hen, I colored the top, the crown in red, and then the little gobble thing underneath, the wattle I guess. And then I did take some, this is Light Pool Party, and I just did a little bit of shadowing across the front a little bit, little on the wings, and just little dots here and there. And I don't know if it'll pick up on camera, but it just gives it a little bit of dimension. There we go, you can kind of see it. And so it's just a little added, so it's not stark white. And this guy will be popping up inside here, so I'm just placing it so I know how much to glue. I can glue it up to his wing. Put that guy in. Putting that on this side. Okay. And then now I can add these little bags. Again, I've already included the the tape on it. So I'm just setting those in there. So those are like that. Sorry about the focusing on my camera, I don't know what's going on. Next we'll color this other chicken. So I just wanted to color part of it so you could see how I did it. So I'm taking some color is this? This is, I'm using my blends, Light Mango Melody, and I'm coloring the whole thing sort of sporadically. You could use daffodil, the light daffodil, and I'm just sort of scribbling. You can see it's not like in the lines or anything, or it's just kind of random. Then I'll take the dark Daffodil Delight, and here's where I'm doing my shadowing a little bit. Just a couple little places. Now I'm taking Light Poppy Parade, and I'm putting a little bit on his stomach, and that's what I did on the other chick too. Just a little flick of it. Then I'm taking Dark Poppy Parade and flicking this as well. Not all the pieces, and you will do that on the tail too, like so. And then now we'll blend it, and you'll use your dark Daffodil Delight, the skinny end, and you just blend it. I'm pressing sort of hard, and then you just blend it, and you can see it just sort of blends in there. And you'll do that over the tail part and the crown of his head. I also colored the candle and the flame. This is in Misty Moonlight. This is a little bit of that pool party. And for his feet, so it didn't blend too much, I used the crumb cake. So I just use the skinny end of the crumb cake, and then I did his beak like that. And that's all for coloring, so it really wasn't difficult. Now we will add the, what do you call them? The glue dimensionals. And I'm putting a couple on. The other ones are flat, just the front one is dimensionalized. And I use all of my dimensional pieces. 3 should be good. And we'll put that on the front over that fence so you wouldn't know there's anything missing, like that. And then I just have a couple of pieces of corn left, and I want to use them, so I will put one on the corn stalk here. I wouldn't recommend putting them any higher than this edge because this is pretty fragile up there. And then I have a couple more here that I had left over. You get 4 pieces of corn and 4 pieces of the stalk or the silk part, and I just doubled them up and ran them through my machine, so I got 8 pieces, so it was real easy to duplicate. So I put one in here, and we'll put a couple inside this layer. So just kind of lay in there. Oops, that doesn't look right. We'll put one on this side. There. And that's all there is for this card. And that's what it looks like when it's closed. When it's open, it just pops up, and you have an adorable card to give to anybody, whether they're a chicken lover or not. So I hope you can figure it out and have fun making one. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.